And for those who didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, it's your boy Caution, Mr. 700 with All Over Media. I am currently here, as you know, with All Over Media, which is made for Black Kings and Queens by Black Kings and Queens.
Yes.
And this evening, we do have a queen in here tonight. I'll let you introduce yourself and tell the people who you are.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Ms.Jorji, in the building. The original and only one and only African Barbie, African princess, you name it, a mogul. I'm right here.
Facts. I like for people to introduce themselves because nobody can do it like you can. So how are you this evening? Thank you for coming out.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been amazing.
This is dope. And I got a lot of questions because a lot of times when you interview artists and things like that, a lot of times it's very
dry.
Not only dry, but it's the same kind of story. And when I got a chance to preface that statement that I'm about to make, I do a lot of research on people that I interview. And so being that I heard from your people first, it was like, okay, since it's not one I initiated, let me do my research so I don't sound dumb.
Okay.
So I want to get into a lot of things because you got a lot of things going. And
I do.
It's not just music. So
no.
For first and foremost, tell people about the new single.
Yes, so I dropped my first ever introductory single into the rap game, Poochie. Yes, I've been rapping now for 5 weeks. So that's my first single. It's actually a reference track. It was for my producer for a label, 300. And, well, now the reference track is my first single.
It's a beast, though. I got a chance to hear it earlier, that one. And I can't think of what the freestyle was that in front of
Hollywood
Field
Bay.
City. Field City.
Oh, Mrs. Put It On.
Yes. That one was tough, too. So we
Thank
will
you.
get into that. But to let people know, Nigerian born and raised.
Yes.
Now, this is very dope, and this is something that I read, and I was like, okay, I got to ask her about this. Is able to rap in 3 languages.
Yes.
Which languages are those?
So in my songs, I always dabble between English, Igbo, and Pidgin. Okay. So Pidgin is like when we mush together parts of Afro language and English. Like I beg, sabi tokam, like she did bad girl. Like that's Pidgin,
Okay, and so being Nigerian born and raised, how long have you been in the States or in the DFW area? Like, give me the history there.
Here, I've been here now. This will be year 2. I got here ending of 2019, and been in America since I was about 12.
Okay.
So yeah, I was born and raised in Nigeria. Onitsha Kwan.
So are you familiar with their music scene?
Of course. What do you mean, Nigerian music scene or Afro beats? You mean because Nigerians essentially run Afro beats?
Exactly.
I said it. Who's upset about it? Nigerians run Afrobeat.
I think that's a fair assumption.
Okay.
All right. Now, how do you feel about because I know there's a theme with like artists from other like nationalities or come from other countries to transition to like the pop culture here. Like, how do you feel about that? Like going from one, say if it's an artist that was established there, blew up there, and it's huge, but it's always like a struggle to like translate that success over to here.
So yeah, definitely. And for me, it's kind of like let me even break it down further. It's kind of like when hip hop stars become commercialized and they start making pops, right? And then it's like, but I kind of liked you when you were you, right? Facts. So that's the thing. And I think the reason why we have that disconnect is because one thing Afrobeats, hip hop, you name it, lacks is the structuring, right? So the reason why they come over to the commercialization or the sync music, because it's called sync music essentially, is the structure in it, being able to see your money make sense, being able to actually make revenue on different parts. So once we fix that within hip hop, within Afrobeats, and actually put a way for artists to make revenue off of their work, I think you'll no longer see us pushing to go into the sync or commercialization world and actually make them come to us because your shit is popping. You just don't know how to properly get it out there.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Now give me something about where you're from that you love the most, like that you maybe miss that you don't get here.
Ooh. So there's these fruits called tiger nuts.
Tiger nuts.
Akiawasa. That's what they call it in my country. It's called akiawasa. And it's here in America, it's translated to tiger nuts. When I tell you I am so I'm so emotionally hurt about it. And then there's another one, it's really fruits, odala. So we call it odala. It's kind of like, really there's no way to describe it.
I'm gonna have to look into it.
Yeah, I'm gonna. It's called Yaodala. I don't know what they call it in America. And then there's Shower Shop. I don't know what that's called either. But it's green on the outside and it's pure white on the inside when you open it. And
it's like a melon.
Yeah, it's like a melon, and it's like spotted, black spots all over it on the outside. But you can like pick it and eat it. It is so delicious.
That's so crazy. The craziest thing about different cultures is even how there's fruit in certain places that's different than that's here, that you can't get here. That's not even grown here. Like, you can't even grow it on the soil. I'm jealous about that. I'm gonna have to make it over there at some point in my life. For real.
You do. You have to come home. That's your birthplace. So you have to like go home for real.
What's crazy is like a large contingency of our audience on all over media is from Africa. So like I get people from like Lagos and all kind of places that send it. It's pretty crazy.
Yes, that's your people. Go home. 23 or what is it? All the DNA testing. Like, dude, just do it. Even if they don't know, at least they get you close enough for you to start researching.
Right. Never know what you uncover.
Honestly, once you put the research out there, the universe always finds a way to like help you find your way back.
Okay. Also, graduated from TSU.
Yeah.
A classmate along with Megan Thee Stallion.
Yes.
Now, that's a dope sentence in itself. But to cap the sentence, finished with 3 engineering degrees.
Yes.
Another round of applause for that. So with obviously education is important to you.
Very, I'm African. That's the only thing that we're raised on.
Right. So it's a staple in your development. We can say
it is. You have to be.
Was music and entertainment always a goal, like even while pursuing your degrees, or was that something like afterwards?
Nope, not at all. I got into music just to like. I've always been a businesswoman. Like when I was little, I watched Oprah. Elizabeth Thornton, who actually is a whole bogus story now, but Theron, not Thornton, Theron or Theron, whatever hell her name is. I think I told my mom when I was 13 or probably 10, I told her, I was like, I'm going to be a billionaire. Like that's the only option. And she told me education. You want to make it happen, education. You can't do it. So I always like, I was a girl like Suits, you know, the TV show Suits. I've always loved Jessica Pierce. Like that was like my celebrity. Like that was when I thought of like role models and goals and things like that. I was like, I want to be her. I want to be that lady in the high rise, you know, office overlooking the city, you know, signing checks, you know, like that's the woman I want to be. I don't know how to get there, but I know that's who I want to be.
It's possible.
So music was definitely not even in it. But then when I got into it about a year ago during the pandemic by accident, because this guy asked me to help him for his this label he was starting. Studio, I don't know what the hell it was, whatever. But he asked me to help him, and he was essentially trying to steal the masters for all these like young 19-year-old, 18-year-old producers who didn't know, like they didn't even understand the dynamic of the business, you know, in music. And I'm a Buddhist, so I believe in you treat others the way you want to be treated, and I live my life under those guidelines, and even treat people well, whatever it may be. You get what you give, okay? Right. So I couldn't do it. Like he was trying to he knew I was good, I have a good mouthpiece and all that. He's like trying to convince them to give me their masters. I was like, I can't do it. No. So he got pissed off at me and like cursed me out, and like the relationship deteriorated, and that bridge was burned, like incinerated instantly. And I told the producers there, I was like, listen, like I may not know. And he told me, this is one thing about me, when you tell me I can't do something, it's one thing to tell me I can't do something and have reasoning behind it. But when you tell me I can't do something and you're just saying it because you're a dick, right? And you think like I've been bullied in high school, and that's high school. Now we're in adulthood, right? So he told me I would never be shit in the industry. He's been here 15 years. 15 years, you don't even have a fucking plaque. Excuse my French. You have nothing. So like if you're bragging on 15 years in the industry and your coolest story is that you got to stand next to Jeff Bezos, you're a loser.
A lot of wasted time there.
Pretty much. So he was like bragging to me about how I was never going to do anything, and it just triggered the like living fire out of me. Right. And boom, I told the producers, listen, I don't know how to do this, but if you want me to help you, I'll help you. All I need to know is understand the business. Right. So I spent like a whole day, like I'm super nerdy, like I love reading and finding out new information. Right. So now this is like a new challenge, because like now I'm fucking pissed off. Right. I'm like, did he just tell me I can't do this? I spent the whole day reading about the industry, like how does the music industry operate, like the back end. And before I even did that, I actually researched what the fuck is a label? What do they do? Right. What is their, back end? And that's how I really started. I'm like, wait, this shit isn't hard. Like,
it's tedious, but
tedious. Yeah. That's what it is. It's so tedious, and it requires you to like literally discipline yourself, structure yourself, discipline yourself. It's about network. It's about utilizing your contacts, leveraging your network. It's about being able to really, like, you gotta just, it's a lot of tedious shit. Right. So as I'm looking at it, I'm like, these labels are just big banks with good networks. That's what they are. So I just said, okay, well, let's just do it. Luckily, I ended up managing Big Cuz, who's like the producer for Ken the Man, Mo 3. We did that project, and it was actually sad the day he passed away. I called him because I literally was on the highway, and I was like hearing it, and I called him like, the album is dropping next week, and he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I heard Mo's dead. And he's like, oh my God, you're joking. Like, get the fuck out of here. Then we found out. So we did that. And then I parted ways with him, amicably. He taught me so much. He really introduced me to the music industry, like let me meet so many people, teach me how, especially the production side. Understanding the producers are the key to music.
Hell yeah.
They're honestly, all these artists, like I'm a rapper, all this crap, yes. But like, producers are really the gem of this whole music industry.
That's who makes the music.
Thank you. They're the original engineers. Like, and I mean, like, I give them so much respect. I respect producers like more than artists. I'm not gonna lie to you. So when I got to see like the back end and see the like where it originated, it really like motivated me.
Gotcha.
And here I am now.
That's dope. That's dope. How was college life for you? Were you like the high-spirited college student, or were you just like to yourself, strictly in the books?
I was strictly in the books, but I was like all over the place in as far as like what I wanted to do. I was finding myself. I was healing from a lot, and like, I mean, childhood trauma really plays itself when you get to college. I was healing. I was finding myself, my voice, college was a beautiful hell.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It was needed though, because shit. It molded me.
It's necessary.
It was a necessary hell.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. I think that's super dope. And I think for individuals that are looking to pursue things similar to what you're doing, it's good to know that there are individuals that do have a different background than most are accustomed to seeing. Especially for young girls. Like, I'm a father. I have 3 daughters. You know what I mean?
That's amazing, girl dad.
Right.
Hey.
And so, I have a son too. You know what I'm saying? I have 4 kids. I'm heavy out here.
He in here building a village.
Right. You know what I mean? A whole team. But I have 10-year-old twins. They're little girls, and then I have a 5-year-old daughter. And they're into music and entertainment and things like that. But like something that's never talked about in entertainment is education. Like, and so, to have somebody that has that background to say, hey, I'm doing this and I love to do it because I love to do it, but I don't have to do it. You know what I mean? It gives a different dynamic to that. So shout out to you for that.
Thank you.
Shout out to you for that.
Thank you. That's something I pride myself in. I was having a conversation with an artist, and they found out I've been doing this for 5 weeks, and like I've done a lot for 5 weeks.
That's crazy when you say that. 5 weeks is wild.
I've done a lot, and they'll get upset when I tell them. They're like, "How is this music thing for you?" And I'm like, "Really, music is secondary. It's a hobby. It's a hobby that I'm gonna turn into another stream of revenue. Like, and I'm not. I won't lie to you and say I've been here all my life. I do write all day, but really, it's not. Right. Yeah.
So it's just you? You write all your own lyrics, or do you have like a team?
So I write all my stuff, but I do have what do you call them? Homework checkers, spell checkers, right? So being that I do have a little bit of a conservative upbringing to a degree, so I'm not really street vulgar in sense of knowing like all the terminologies.
You know what's crazy? When I was just telling him about your music before you pulled up, and I was like, I can hear what she's doing, but I can also tell like it's not like it's ratchetism, because you know what I mean. Like, you look for a certain level of it, and like, okay, maybe there's a switch there. She's turning on and off. I got you.
Yeah. So I want to blend the both, because I mean, as articulate and punctual as I am, music requires a little bit of grr, especially in hip hop. You can't really rap all the way proper in hip hop, and that's okay, because sometimes a beat requires you to like mimic and like manipulate terminology to get the right. So I do have spell checkers. So my cool friends and Nigel, I work with Nigel. He's amazing. He's a writer himself and also a rapper and a producer, and I work with him. So when I write, I'll send it to him. I'm like, is this corny? Right. And he'll tell me, okay, don't say that. Like, try to be a little bit more this. So I do have spell checkers, and it's needed. Like, a team is needed. I have an amazing team. Definitely. Like, I am here because of my amazing team.
It's nothing like it. It's nothing like it. Doing this shit yourself is damn near impossible.
You can't do it. You can't do it at all.
So being that you've been in the field, because I know, okay, you say 5 months. What are some of the things that you've noticed about the entertainment industry that you would probably say that were unexpected, or that you weren't like, that you were just like, damn, I wouldn't have expected that type of thing?
How easy it was.
Okay.
How easy. I may sound so disrespectful to people who have been working hard, but no, I think it's actually easy. And I think the hard part is finding the team. And no, the hard part for most people would be actually having an end goal. Because you have to have an end goal first before you actually start building everything that people think you normally start and then build an end goal. No, you start with an end goal. Where do you want,
where's this going?
Yeah, where is this going? Once you figure out where it's going, it allows you to have the right prayers, right? And the right prayers, because you have to know what you're praying for, right? So you have the right prayers to God, and He'll send you the right direction. So the end goal is first, and everything else comes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I even the thought process of saying that it's easy, I don't even think I think for the most part, there's a difference from knowing how to work the industry as opposed to like what artists consider like the craft of being an artist, right?
Yeah.
So like, you can learn how to work the industry and be a horrible artist, and it'll still work for you. You see what I mean? So I think a lot of people get that confused.
That's actually predominantly what's going on.
Facts. It's not a lot of great artists. Like, you're not looking at a lot of fucking Picassos and Stevie Wonders. But
they have the right business backside.
And that's what it is. Like, and that's what it is. So I think if it's easy to figure out that part, then you're figuring out a part of it that most don't even get to a point where they understand it. Like, I don't know, and I know a lot of rappers, right? So I wouldn't say that all rappers even know anything about the background of it. And even to this day, those that have been involved for a long time, I notice like there's things that you do that you're still doing the wrong way because you don't know. So I mean, yeah,
they think it's just making. I think once I learned that it wasn't just about making music, like I have 27 today. I have 27 now in the vault of music that's just sitting there in the vault. And it's hilarious because I'm like, I thought that was it.
Right.
But learning the business side and actually learning, you can make good music. I've met people who have great songs, right? But you got to do the legwork. And that's the aspect I want to teach people. Like, regardless of whatever you want to do in life, business is always a part of that. Right. Unless you just want to be a bum. If you want to make no monetization, or transition higher, like, then okay, then be happy. Like, if you're just cool. But if you're looking to do anything that actually merits you being something in life, business is the key to it. So that's one thing I think this taught me is my kids are all going to go to business school. I don't care what they do.
Oh yeah.
Whatever the hell you want to do, you have to go to school and get a business degree, period.
You figure everything else out with the rest of that.
Yeah, business degrees, especially business engineering, has to be for my kids.
Oh, yeah. Saying that's coming from experience, not just...
I'm not saying that off a pedestal. I'm really mean that.
So that leads me to my other question. I'm glad you said that about the end game. What's the goal with all of this for you? Like, at the end of the day, like, when everything is said and done, like, what do you want your legacy to be?
So I have a pretty good list. I'm someone who's very much, I feel anointed and very touched by God. In the era that we live in, I don't think people actually ever, I don't think we give the respect of spirituality the way that we should. And my end goal is really, there's something beyond I can't even tell you, but I have an idea of where I'm supposed to be. And the end goal is to leave a remarkable legacy that changes the world. Like, that's cheesy, because I know it's 2021. Do we still do cheesy?
Yeah. If it's genuine, yeah.
It's okay.
Genuinely cheesy is fine. Okay. It's just when it's phony, it's like, I'm good on it.
I want to leave a very positive. I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave something that inspires the next generation, and not beyond my kids, my sisters, my niece and nephews, and amazing women and girls. I want to do something where when I leave this world and when I meet my creator, I can look him in his eyes and go, I did that. Right. If there's a pearly gate, or, if I get to pick the next round, I go into whatever, I just want to know that I can bring my report card and say, sir.
Right. Facts. I think it's dope to look at things that way, because a lot of people only think about things in the short term. And sometimes the larger picture is like, if you And me as an artist, I think about if I create something, I want 100 years from now somebody to see it and dust it off and be like, damn, whoever this was, like he was a genius. Like, I appreciate everything he did. Like, let me look into that to see. Like, that's the kind of shit that I look forward to making. Like, it used to be for instant gratification for people to just be like, oh, it's dope. But no, it's deeper than that. So leaving something that people can see later on down the line and still have that same effect on you is really
I read the biography, so something about me, I read a lot. I thank my father for this. My dad reads like a book a week. He's disturbing. But my dad gave me a biography that I read about Hilton, the Hilton Empire. And that book was like, insightful, read. Huh? I tell people that all the time, like read.
Even if it's the audio version, people. Like,
yes, but I still believe in traditional hold a book and read.
Oh yeah, we're in the age of people being lazy.
I know, but there's something about like actually seeing the words.
Oh yeah.
Our brain is like a storage unit, right? And I always make people like do this little challenge. Your brain is a storage unit, and all these storages need the key, right? But you can't just up and just go find what aisle. Like when you're going food shopping, you can't just walk in and know where everything is. You have to read to be able to trigger and find the information on what aisle each information is on. And that's what reading does, especially when you can hold it in your hands and read it and imagine it, because imagination dies. Imagination does die with, like, the older you get, imagination does die. It dissipates. It does. And you have to fight every day to keep imagination, because once you lose your imagination, then you lose the beauty of this world, because then you start seeing the world as like
your innocence reality. Is gone.
Yes.
That's my biggest fear for my children. The biggest fear. Like, I had somebody ask me that before. We were having a conversation about like your kids finding out about sex and things like that as you get older, and why are people so apprehensive about that? And my thing wasn't that I'm so worried about the physical aspect of my kids. That's going to happen anyway.
It is. You can't fight that. You can. It's part of life.
Right. My thing is the actual loss of the innocence.
Yes.
Like when it's gone completely and it's like, damn, like now I can't lie to you anymore. The world is telling you the truth now. You know what I mean? Like you're no longer able to shield them from certain things.
And it's not even to only shield them, but you also give them, like, imagination is not even about hiding the truth of the world, but being able to see the possibilities, right?
And having an openness to it.
Yeah, when I look at the world, everyone wants me to believe how fucked up it is. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that fucked up shit doesn't happen in this world.
Yeah.
But when I also look at the world, all I see is all these solutions that are possible.
Right.
And like, maybe that's from the engineering side of me, where engineers, the definition is, a solution. We're a solutionist, problem solvers. Right. So when I look at the world, all I see is just possibilities. Like, I feel like a little kid. Like, even now, I'm still feel like I'm just turning 10, and I'm just so excited of like the growth that's still to happen. Because
every day should be a new adventure. Like, I think people get so caught up in like what happened the day before. So if they have a bad day, they let that translate to their whole everything. Yeah. Instead of realizing, okay, that was one bad day. Yeah. I woke up again. Like, let me get this started. And even with like certain shit, I caught myself doing this the other day. I think I was working or I left somewhere and I was just kind of frustrated. So everything motherfuckers were saying to me, I was upset about. And like I had to pause and was like, bro, what is really wrong with you? Like it was like one of the first times where it was like self-reflecting type of things. Like, what is really wrong? And I think a lot of people don't tap into that part of themselves, and they just carry that negative energy.
So I do the cheesy thing, right? So I'm gonna tell you guys something I do. So I have in a day, because people just think, I think a lot of people in my life know how crazy my schedule is. Like, I don't play. I lack procrastination. That's my biggest flaw, is I don't procrastinate, right? And people we live in a world where procrastination is a comfort zone for people, right? And I go through a hell on earth some days. And you know what I do? I smoke a happy blunt. Facts. I lay down and I watch adult animation, sometimes even children animation. And I allow my mind to be blurred out with stupidity for a little bit.
See where you're going there.
I go to sleep. I wake up. I'm in the happiest, cheesiest mood of my life, okay? Like, sometimes that's just how you got to do it. Like, you just have to let it go. Right. Fuck it.
But it's hard for people to do that, and I try to empathize with those who do have issues with those type of things, because I know those are real issues. You know what I mean? As far as, like, holding on to shit that bothers you and not being able to, like, move forward from shit. Like, depression is real. I understand that. I don't ever want to downplay it. But it's a big deal.
It's a mental thing too. I never downplay, because I wrote in my book. I wrote a book called The Ratchet Genius. Mm-hmm. It's coming, guys. Don't worry. I know you've been looking for
a book, a TV show, and
I do a lot. I'm multifaceted. I'm a multi-diversified portfolio of a businesswoman. And in my book, I talk about adulting is 50% happiness and 50% depression. Like, I don't know who needs to hear that, but adulting is never like you're never fully happy. You live. Never. It's Buddhism. You literally learn how to live in like the constant state of bullshit. Things will always happen in life. It's your reaction that determines your path in life, right? So you gotta live where like you always prepare for the fact that shit happens. So you gotta realize it's a 50-50 day. Like today might be a 50% chance of just sunshines and fucking rainbows and amazing moments, and tomorrow might be the bad day. Take an L. Like I may take an L tomorrow. But I at least I'm always pushing to the freaking end goal. Like I'm always every single day internet. You have to find your spiritual connection to God. You got to find your way back, because you can't have all these and not really find a way to God and help yourself. God helps those who help themselves, right? If we use Bible terminology, you got to help yourself. Yeah. Get up off your ass, man. For real. Don't get a friend. Make a friend. Go to the park. Like, I'm not saying it's not, because everyone knows, like, I've had battles with depression. I've thought about suicide. Like, I think that's like, let's stop acting like it's not. Everyone at some point, and you're so blessed in your life if you've never had moments where you're just like, I'm ready to give up entirely. Oh yeah. If you're someone who's determined and driven, and you really have been trying to like make something of yourself, at some point or the other, you wanted to give up and just say, F this, like I'm done. It happens, like, but you have to be strong enough to walk away and say, no, that's a weak cop out. Let me, like keep pushing. Let me find solution. Right. Yeah. That's deep, man. I appreciate these type of conversations, because, they're not had enough, and I know a lot of people are not technically, especially with men. Like, we have an issue with like expressing the things that bother us deep down on the inside. Toxic masculinity. Facts. Okay, so on a lighter note, we'll brighten it up a bit here. Okay. Give me some information about the Afro pop scene. Like, give me before even going there. How would you describe your sound individually, and is that what encompasses it all, or is there more to it? So I do Afrotrap, right? I call my genre Afrotrap. Shout out to you because I'd never heard that before. I saw it in your EPK, so I give you credit for that. Perfect, thank you. So I have Afrotrap, which is essentially a blend of I love trap music. Like, I am a lover of trap music. Shout out to like Established G, Moneybag, Old Moneybag, Future. Is it the beat or the content? Beat. I'm talking about like as far as like their beat, like 808 Mafia, DJ Esco. I'm going, dude. So many Metro amazing, Boomin. Metro Boomin, like even London on the Track, Mustard. Like, it's all some like the 808s and their drums. Their drum kits are freaking amazing, and I love trap music. I'm a true musicianist, right? So I just took the 808s. My producer and I, Nazi on the beat. Nazi, you're in here, Nazi. Right. Him and I, we created it. So we take the 808s from trap music, the melody, because he plays 6 instruments. So the piano. Shout out to him for that. What? He's sick, and he's always learning something new. So he plays 6 instruments, and we take Afrobeat has a lot of melodies. We use a lot of instruments for Afrobeat. So we just take that and influence the big 808s from hip hop, and to be able to be creating my sound. Dope. Shout out to y'all. So we make upbeat. I make upbeat trap music. Like, now I wouldn't say upbeat, but like I just make Afro trap. That's the best way to describe my music, Afro trap. Keep it that. That's a first, I'm telling you. But then when I heard it, I do it. Mm-hmm. And I kind of knew it prior to even going too deep. Like when I saw the first video I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. But the vibe, it didn't feel off. Yeah. And that's what you look for in music. Like, even if it's something that's innovative or something new, does it feel off? Mm-hmm. Because you know how you hear certain shit and it's like, I see where you're going, but it didn't hit. Right. Like, you're not there yet. For effort. Yeah, facts. Like, I see where you're going, but you haven't got there yet. Yeah. Like, just keep driving. Like, you getting there. You know what I'm saying? You get some gas. Hit the road again, you almost there. But like I got it right away. Okay. And like I said, it was different because, as an artist, I'm a rapper myself. Mm-hmm. And so I always look for little intricacies in other rappers, right? Every artist has something that makes them them. Like, what's your niche? Mm-hmm. And if you watch a person for the first time and you don't see that, then it's like, okay, well, you still working at it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so they haven't found them. For you to only be doing this for 5 months. I mean, 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
5 weeks.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, not 5 months, crazy. 5 weeks.
I'm going to replay it. I'm going to have to rewind this and see because I swear she said 5 months earlier, but 5 weeks?
5 weeks. I dropped my first single on my birthday and started pushing it at the end of the month. Thank you. Woo woo.
Work harder sometimes, not smarter.
Listen, hold on. Flip that. I work smart, not hard.
Oh, so you're the other way.
I work smart, not hard, right? So the reason why I have 20 songs in a vault right now is because I have a tech startup and I'm still beta testing, right? So I need to
get into that.
Oh, okay, thank you. I have a tech startup and we're in beta testing now, but by next year we're going to drop the tech company and I'm going to be fully like my energy, my power level / attention level is going to go 60% into the tech and 40% into music. But because I still know I'm building a fan base right now and a good musical fan base, I don't want to just leave them hanging, right? So I want to have a lot of good music in the vault. So even when I go back into the tech world and I'm business all through, my team still has work to drop.
Shoot some videos.
Yeah, I have everything is in a vault. So I work smart, not hard. So I never want to not be able to deliver. I'm called the executionist because I execute. That's just, I don't play about that.
I love it. This has been a dope interview. We working on best of the year. I know you said it was going to be the greatest interview of the year. We almost there. We're almost there.
Yeah.
Super dope. So what are your plans coming up? Talk about the TV show. I know we mentioned that. Like what's going on with that kind of stuff? So
the TV show, I did a TV show. It's called First Gen. Okay. It's about my friends. I have an amazing eclectic group of friends who are lawyers. I'm sorry, not lawyers, doctors. I mean like high level doctors, high influencers, supermodels, vixens, internationally renowned MCs, and just my biomedical executives. But at the same time, we're all like from different parts of Africa, right? And we, like, no offense, we run Dallas, like Africans, and especially now, everyone is like, oh my God, Africans. But we've been underground with the movement, right? Because we move in our community, right? But now we're coming mainstream. Right. So it gave me a chance to really talk about like where I'm from, my circle of friends, who we are, the values and how we're raised, and kind of like also help African Americans find their way home and, relate to us. Because I think that's part of the issue we deal with is that disconnect. In the culture, Black American and Africans, like we want to teach you guys and we do want you guys to come home, but you guys are the ones who always kind of want to stay in your own. So we don't force people to come into the African world. We know we're lit.
They colonized us, man. You know what I'm saying? They stripped us of it. They stripped us of everything.
Okay, but that's like 400, 500 years ago.
I know,
and
that can't be an excuse.
It's a cop-out. Let's leave the chip there, right?
I had a conversation with some of my other co-hosts. Shout out to my team, everybody on All Over Media. And two of them, it was four of us in here, two of them said that they had no desire to ever go to Africa. And I was like, are y'all serious? Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, we really sat in here for 30 minutes, bro, and talked about that. Like, I'm like, are y'all just basing this on what you see on movies and shit?
Literally.
Like, come on, bro. Like,
I still get asked questions of, do we have electricity?
Like, are you kidding? Like,
I still get that question. And don't get me wrong, when I grew up, we didn't. And, like, we really didn't.
But shit, I didn't either. And I lived in Compton. Like, it was like, the fuck? Like, if you worried about going somewhere, stay the fuck away from there. I'm sorry. I just had
No, but it's the truth. They still, and, like, even when it comes to the food, even when it still comes to food, I'm still like, and they still look at our food weird. I'm like, dude, like, half the stuff you guys cook is just a modified version of our food, right? And I still don't get why we are in 2021 and like we're not making African friends. Like we're not going back to Nigeria, like, or not just Nigeria, because of course I'm Nigerian, but just parts of Africa. You're not researching. You're not like, that's really, there's so much room to create and build, like so much. Someone told me to take him to Africa. Hell yes. Listen, hell yes. If you want to come to Africa, hell yes. Like go, it's okay. Do the research. Even if you want to start with South Africa and you're like, okay, that's the most common, but whatever. But do something. Go home. You're going to like feel something I can't explain once you touch foot in Africa.
I'm going to. I refuse to not. It's just too many things that I want to see and know for myself. I'm not one of those people that can just take somebody's word for shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, don't take my word for it. Go home. All of you, go home.
I gotta
find your strength, because it's like when I used to hear the joke like, when I was in high school, they would tell me, "Oh, if you don't like, you're African or whatever. If you don't like it, go back home." I'm like, dude, like you don't gotta tell me twice.
Right.
Trust, sir. The plan is in motion. Jesus. We move.
For real though, like it's not like, and that it's not like we live in a place that's just so grand and luxurious. Like
it's just structured better. The difference is America has structure. It's crazy, and I have respect and love for America because as much shit as we talk, let's be real, like it's still in a lot of ways better than a lot of shit, especially from where I come from. This is still like, you have laws, people are willing to abide by laws, there's guidelines, there's even though they can be manipulated, but there's at least they're still in place.
There's something there.
Yeah, there's still something there, right? Like where I come from, there's like it's just like it's a madhouse. Right. It's a madhouse. Right. But it's coming, it's changing. The change is coming, and like I really see the transition. Don't let people fool you. The world is definitely changing.
Right. Shout out to my brother Kelly Hansen. I see him doing a lot of advocating for things that go on over there. A lot of the shit that he sees that doesn't go right. He's an artist over there. It's like he's a super dope guy, and he's very informative on those kind of things. So I tap into his Instagram and shit like that because that's all he posts is things like that, talking about shit that's going on there, and it's crazy to see it. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like, it is kind of tough over here for certain things, but like on the flip side, it could be worse. So.
Yeah, and I'm also like, don't get me wrong, I'm also upset at my people too because they get comfortable in this American life, right? And they get comfortable in the American life. They come here and want to build the American dream, and then forget that they have a whole country that they have to go home and like also bring what they've learned and try to implement it. And I get it's hard, but nowadays no one wants to do the hard work. I get that. But for those who are driven and you want to, like, trust me,
it's worth it.
It's worth it, and it's possible. I've seen it firsthand. If I tell you where I grew up, you would never believe I'm sitting right here in front of you. So for that to happen, there is a God. Like, there is a God.
Definitely.
And he is way powerful if you give him the credit.
Facts. So yeah, you gave me all. Yeah. The startup is the thing that caught me off guard because I was like, damn, a prominent. It said, and the way it was worded, I was just like, damn, $6.7 billion.
It is six. Hold on, we gotta say it out loud because I think it's actually gonna be evaluated higher than that once we're done beta testing, and we're right now in beta testing, and the evaluation is off of just initial overall company. Right. Evaluation off of a small investment of $1 million. So now we're looking for more than that, and we're higher than that. So the valuation could be actually way higher.
So it's ever evolving.
It's ever evolving because we really didn't know what we had in our pocket until now. Right. So I'm super duper excited about LenderX, LYNDRX. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We're there. It's really dedicated to let me break it down. So we essentially built a fintech startup. I don't know if you're familiar with fintech.
No, break it down.
Financial technology.
Okay.
So you utilize it through Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Venmo. Yeah.
Most payment services.
Yeah, Apple.
Instant transaction type thing.
Financial technology. And then there's also like, the peer-to-peer. So our market deals in peer-to-peer lending. We deal with, peer-to-peer lending, and essentially we deal in micro lending. That's where we are. Micro lending. And we actually hold a patent internationally and national. So we essentially created an Uber and Airbnb for your money. The term, let your money make money while you sleep. You can literally upload your money the same way you put it into a savings account, but actually putting it on our platform, and it churns for you. So you're lending money anonymously to people all around the world, and you're always guaranteed your money back plus interest, always. The only risk you're taking is the upfront initial adding of the fund, and your money just goes ahead and flips it all the way till the end of the year.
So and it builds your set amount, and it just takes from that amount.
Yes.
Each time.
So you upload $600 on the platform in January, and you don't want to pull it out till December. And all it does, and you say, okay, I want to do only loans within 20% interest, right? Because we cap out at 25%. It's 10%, 15%, 20, 25%, depending on the time frame of return. So if it's going to take a week to return, it's 10%. Anything over a week is 15%. Anything over 2 weeks is 20%, and it caps out at a month and a half to return it at 25%. So you can lend $600 for a week and make 15% on that.
Crazy.
And that's money you would never make in $600 in your savings account.
Without
ever.
having to do anything.
Ever. And that's for the lender side who's giving the money. So at the end of Friday, let's say you lend the money yesterday and you were supposed to get it back on Friday. Friday, we automatically pay you back your money plus your interest. Oof. And we handle getting back the money for you from the person. We incentivize the requesters to actually pay back on time and, fully use it effectively by, one, we boost their credit. We don't check credit, but we do boost your credit. So by paying it back small increments, whatever works for you, pay it back and boost your credit. Right. As well as at the end of each year, we give a percentage of our profits back to our users. Mm-hmm. So you actually want to be one of our top users because at the end of each year, if we made $100 million and we're giving away $10 million, if you were part of our top 100 users, come end of December, you get a check just for lending, just for requesting money that you paid back. That's it. Incentivification, yes.
Right. I love it. And so this is what's so dope about you.
Thanks.
Most recent single, Poochie, that she just dropped.
Yeah.
On the flip side of everything she just said. You know what I'm saying? Sprinkle in that right on top of that. You know what I'm saying? That's what the fuck I'm talking about. And it's crazy because I was talking to him recently. I was like, man, I really would like to start speaking to more young black professionals. Mm-hmm. Like people who have things in the business world that people aren't used to hearing. Mm-hmm. Like, but it's different when you hear from somebody and they 55 and 60 years
you don't
old.
Really hear it.
Like, I got time, bro. Yeah. I'll get there. But to hear from somebody, you know what I'm saying, that you're closer in age to, it's like, damn, how old is she? What is she doing? She just dropped a single and she finished dropping, like, you know what I'm saying? I can go see the video. She in front of Fuel City. Like, what? Like, what is, it's just like a whirlwind. So, like, and I'm not going to lie, I'm very particular about people that I come and talk to because I have this stigma of, like prior to this, I was paying for time and like spending time in studios with people that didn't have any energy. And so like, I was skeptical at first. I was, but I think that what you have going on is important for people to hear. For one, it's super dope to see. For two, I'm very interested in the TV show because I want to see the places y'all go. Like, I know y'all got some. I want to see how y'all do it because that's very interesting to me.
And that's actually I forgot to mention that. So actually, my EP. Will actually be the soundtrack for the show. So I'm running the soundtrack.
How many songs on the EP?
So you're going to have to tune into the show to see.
Gotcha. That's what you call marketing right there.
Exactly. You're going to have to tune into the show to get a preview of my EP. It's really a preview. You're not going to get the whole song, but you're going to get previews of my EP. And my EP will drop the next year. So if you watch a TV show, you get a little bit of a tickle in your panties, and then next year you get the full songs.
That's dope. Let people know where they can find you as well again.
So you guys can find me, Ms.Jorji, on all platforms. Instagram, if you want to go by my full name, start with Jorji_independence. Twitter, Ms.Jorji. TikTok, Ms.Jorji. Everything, MSJORJI, pronounced Georgie, kind of like Giorgio Armani. Mm-hmm. And you can find me everywhere. Come find me.
We'll go ahead and link all of that. So you'll see that pop up on the screen as she says it, just in case you couldn't hear, or if people are sometimes a little slow. Definitely appreciate you coming out, finding your way here to the good old dungeon here at Small's Exclusive Art Studio / all over.
This place. It's amazing, guys. You have to come over here. This is the best, one of the best interviews. Like in this whole thing I've been doing 5 weeks. This is a media month for me.
I've seen that. And shout out to you for all that. I seen you. I seen a lot of places that you stopped through, and there's a lot of people that I rock with. So shout out to you for
that's dope.
Yeah, shout out to you for that.
I'm making my rounds because as much as everyone's like, oh, when you're in a city, they don't really fuck with you. No, I think you got to give them something to fuck with, and I feel like Dallas. I'm repping for you guys. I may not be from Dallas, but I'm gonna rep this place like I am. And I want to make sure Dallas realizes and gets to know who it is that's trying to rep them, right?
Right, some people out here, man. Mm-hmm. Some people out here doing real things, and that's what's not like quantifiable for people. I think sometimes it's like because you see people doing shit, but it doesn't get any traction. So to see, you want to see movement and see people that's actually getting shit done. So
exactly, and I want to represent. So guys, Dallas people, tune in. I'm here. I'm gonna make you proud, and I'm gonna bring a whole new element to this industry, this music industry. Every single thing. I'm gonna change the game. Just stay tuned.
Facts.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for coming out once again.
Yay.
Ladies and gentlemen, all over media, caution, Mr. 700, Small Exclusive Art Studio, 648 West Pioneer Parkway, Grand Prairie. I know it by heart now, nigga. I told you I would get it. I know it by heart. Y'all have a good one, man.